I'm so excited about our guest today. She's a family nurse practitioner that specializes in aesthetics with over 20 plus years of experience, which certifies her as a master injector. Now the South Florida Injector has opened her own training facility where she teaches providers new skills. Please help me to introduce aesthetic injector Limor.
Hi. Yay.
Now Limor, I want to ask you, I always ask my guests, has everything been since COVID-19?
To be honest, COVID has not affected, the aesthetic industry in my experience at all. Speaking to other injectors, it's been super busy. Everyone's been more busy than they were before. I think people being on Zoom and staring at their face all day has really affected, our industry because everyone wants to look good.
Yeah.
And it's like an instant gratification, so.
Yeah, I've been speaking to so many injectors, and they always say the same thing. Like their customers come in and say, "Hey, my glabella is not up to date, or I need to get some Botox over here or some filler on my lips." So it's definitely changing in the industry, and people are, wanting more injectables even during this pandemic. It's very interesting.
Well, also people are working remote, so they don't need as much time to recover. They can recover in the privacy of their own home. Yeah. So I haven't experienced that. We were closed for 5 or 6 weeks, and then we came back, and it was full schedules.
Nice.
Yeah.
So take us back to the beginning. I want to talk more. I know in the intro I said you've been in the aesthetic industry for 20 plus years, and I know the industry is so new. Tell us, why would you want to what made you want to get into this industry so early, and how did you get started as an aesthetic injector?
Well, my background, I'm an esthetician originally. I became an esthetician in 2005 in Florida. And so I've been in the beauty industry for many, many years, even before I was an injector. So I specialized in brows, and then I went into lashes, before anyone was even doing lashes. And then I started doing microblading and tattooing, and so it's been an evolution for me. And then the next step was to be an injector. So I went back to school, I got my nursing degree, then I got my master's, and the rest is history.
Yes. I know we were talking a little bit behind the scenes, and you said you've been growing up in the med spa industry.
Yeah, well, my family had some med spas. We had a laser center, we had a salon and spa, so that's what kind of made me become an esthetician. That was the driving force. I actually met a woman many years ago, and she was my mentor, and she had a skincare company, and I just, she inspired me to become an esthetician and get into that industry. And I love the art of it.
Wow, that's amazing. That's truly amazing. You've been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
She must be proud.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your journey. So you started as an aesthetic injector, and you've been working in the field. Tell me, so what was your last position like?
I worked in a very busy aesthetic office with a pretty notable plastic surgeon, and it was in North Miami, and it was a great experience, and really gave me a large volume of patients in order to really hone my skills and evolve as an injector.
Nice. What advice would you give to maybe a new injector that's coming out of grad school, or maybe someone's in the field that's looking for new experience?
I would say, be patient. It took me 9 months to find a job when I finished nurse practitioner school, even with all of my experience. Don't jump on the first job, but don't be too picky, right? And then definitely don't sign any contracts without having an attorney look at them, or, a friend that maybe has more experience in that, or another injector, someone who's been in the field for a good period of time. I would say definitely patience. Don't get discouraged if you don't get it right away. Go to conferences to network. That's always a good way if you're trying to get into the field. That way you meet, key opinion leaders, and you meet other people with the same interests.
I agree. I always tell new providers that I work with, networking is key. You never know who you would meet in a conference or
Right, exactly.
yeah, so it's key. It's definitely key. Tell me a little bit, what kind of got you into training injectors?
When I first started as an injector, I kind of felt, this industry, even though there's a lot of people in it, it's kind of a lonely place because you're usually the only one working in the office, or it's like there's no one to really talk to. And I was always looking for kind of a mentor because I had a mentor in aesthetics, but not as an injector. And the aesthetic world is very competitive and sometimes like secretive, and you kind of feel left out. So I wanted to create a community of injectors, that I could train, that I could mentor, because I really, it's not all about the money for me. I really enjoy teaching people, and I have like a passion for that field. So it was like a natural evolution for me. If you would have asked me, where do you see yourself in 5 years, it was teaching.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
I always say it's good to give back, especially in this industry, because it is so closed off that people don't like to give up secrets. And the fact that you're guiding a new injector through kind of the process is so respectable.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, my friend Josh said that you had mentioned earlier, it's like community over competition. Like, we really want to create a community of injectors so we can all, talk to each other and keep like the communication open, and you don't feel intimidated. It is an intimidating field. Yeah,
no, I definitely understand that. Now, you have trained so many injectors. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of what are some key aspects or key qualities in a great injector?
I would say someone who is patient, someone who understands that it's, art as well as, a medical procedure. It's not going to be like an exact science. I feel like sometimes I train people and they're like, well, is it 0.2 here and 0.5? I'm like, it's not like that. You just have to kind of take it case by case. Another attribute of a good injector would be someone who's interested in learning and knows that they don't know it all, and is constantly enhancing their education, taking, courses, going to conferences, traveling, going outside of the United States. I know it's expensive, but it's good to learn from other people and other perspectives, other cultures, how they approach aesthetics.
No, I can definitely agree with that. A great injector I spoke with always told me that it's not about what's happening at the moment, but it's happening if there's an emergency. You need to know that information. So I feel like training, like you said, and really learning, the anatomy and kind of the background really helps in case, something may happen.
Yeah, I mean, you need to be able to, or understand that you need to invest in yourself. If this is a career that you're interested in pursuing for a long period of time, you definitely want to invest in your education for that.
Nice, amazing. What advice would you maybe give to someone that is looking to change careers, maybe is at their point where they've gotten to in their clinic, so they worked for a couple years and now they're looking to do something else? Would you suggest, how would you know if it's time to kind of go on your own?
We'll go on your own or switch like careers.
So say like you've been in a med spa for 4 years, you've learned your ropes. Exactly.
I feel like it's time to move on when you have established enough clientele where, not that you would necessarily take the clientele, but that it wouldn't make sense for the company that you're working for to continue paying you because it wouldn't be a wise business decision for them. And that you are, you can have your own following and you can establish your own business, and that you know that you're going to be able to pay your bills.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. So many injectors ask me, like, when is it time, or I'm ready, and I always tell them, when you build up that clientele, you'll know it's time, and it's ready.
I mean, I had no intention of leaving my last place. It just, it kind of evolved, and I outgrew it, and it was time to move on. Even though everyone had been telling me to move on for a long time.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready, and I had no intention. But when I saw this office, I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
It just happened.
You just know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Who do you look towards for advice, being so experienced in the industry?
Oh my God, there's so many people. I don't even know who I would say. I mean, I'm so blessed that I have so many friends that are good injectors and like just overall good people, and they're all over the country.
Yeah.
They're actually all over the world. So I can't like pinpoint one specific person, but I think it's cool with social media. You even if you've never met someone, you become friends with them, over social media, and then you go to conferences, and that's like the fun time where you meet them and you hang out. Or like people that you would never. It sucked with COVID because we really didn't get to see each other for like over a year. So it's like it'll be a nice reunion at the next conference.
Definitely. Now, Limor, thank you so much for sitting down with us and talking more about the aesthetic industry. I'm sure providers will find a lot of value from this. Tell us a little bit kind of where someone can find you, your Instagram handle, things like that.
So they can find me in Brickell. I'm at the Infinity Building in Brickell, and my Instagram handle is beauty.bae, but it's beauty, BEAUTIE .bae, BAE. And then the office Instagram is the Clinic USA. And where I see myself, I just see this office expanding more and doing more trainings. We're going to start doing group trainings, and because I've been really focusing on one-on-one, but I still want to keep it boutique and small. I don't want to have like large groups, so we probably wouldn't have larger than 5 people. And then, we're going to start doing other courses like suturing and other things aside from aesthetics per se. My brother is actually an amazing suture. He's a surgical tech, and he learned like this very, very specific way of suturing wounds and things like that, where you can't see it at all. So it's still in the aesthetic part, but it's not fillers and Botox or neurotoxins. So
awesome. Well, everybody stay up to date on all things she just said, and you can follow her on Instagram. And until next time, bye.